Okay guys, welcome back to part 2 of the Django shopping cart tutorial. So in this video we're gonna simply continue from where we stop in part 1. We're gonna continue from where we stop in part 1. So right now let's continue, you understand? So right now what do I want to do now? I simply said I want to start we have our carts now, and we also have our cart items. So now what do you want to do? We want to simply push out this data into the cart page. So let's do that right now. So I'm going to go down to my views.py. So here's my views.py file. We have the cart page up there. We have this cart page over here. Okay, so what do I want to do? So right now, we'll simply get our carts. I'll simply get our carts. Mind you, you can only get your carts if you are logged in. Understand? So at the part 4 of this series, part 4 is going to be how users can add to carts without them being logged in. How they can add to carts why they are still anonymous. Understand? That's going to be the part 4 of this series, as part 3 is going to be on integrating this web app with Flutter Vive. That's what part 3 will be on. So right now I'm going to simply say if request dot user dot is authenticated. So if the user is logged in, so I'm going to simply get a cart. I'll simply get this cart. I'll simply say cart created. So I will simply get the cart if it exists, or create the cart if it does not exist. As we say cart dot object dot get or create dot get or create. So I'm going to get it by the user, which is the logged in user, request dot user, and then by the completed status, which is false. Completed equal to false. So after I've done this now, what next? So that's it now. So I'm also going to get the cart items. So I'm going to say cart items. What's happening? So right now I'm going to say cart item should be equal to cart items dot all. So my asking me how did I come about these cart items? You can see right here we have the carts which we just got. That's fine. We have the carts. Right now I'm trying to get the items that belong to these carts. So how do I go about it? So right now we check closely. We will check the relationship in the model.py file. Here's the relation. I'm going to show the relationship right now. We have this relationship over here. Understand? This relationship, we have the cart. We also have the cart item. You can see I linked the cart and the carts. I linked the carts here. This cart you see here is the parent. I link the cart and the cart item to the foreign key. The cart is the parent. Why the cart item is the child? You understand? So right now, for me to access cart item from the parent, I need to use this related name. This related name over here. That's what I'm using. Understand? Right now you can see I'm accessing cart item from the parent. The parent is cart over here. Cart. This is the parent. So you can see this cart item is not a field. It is not a field in the cart model, but I can use it. Well, you can see me using it over here. I'm using it comfortably, despite it not being a field here. That's because I've already created a link between the parent and the child through this related name. You understand? So that's what I just did there. Now, so right now I can get all the cart items that belong to that cart. You understand? So that is it over there. So okay, so that is it there. So one thing is that we can only have these values, these cart and cart items, if you are logged in. If you're not logged in, there will be an error. So to prevent that error, I'm going to simply set cart to none. To prevent the error, cart should be equal to none, and also cart item is going to be equal to an empty list. Cart item is going to be equal to an empty list. So right now I'm going to simply pass this into the context as we say cart and then cart items. I think I'm correct. I can simply say items rather than saying, let's just say items, and then I'll say cat items, carts item. So perfect. Now, so to the browser, what next, what next, what next, what next, what next? Okay, so this is it over here. So I'm going to go down to our carts page. So I'm going to close some of this stuff that we don't need. I'm going to go down to the carts page. Carts page, where are you? So this is the carts page over here. So right now, I'll just come here. You can see we have our cart items. If I go down here, if I click on this cart icon, click over here, you can see, oh, there's a problem. So I'm going to add the cart link to this particular, to this cart icon you see here. There's no cart icon there, but I'm going to add one later. So now let's go down to the index page, to the base.html. I need to add the cart link to that, so you can access the cart page from there. So where's the cart? My shop. So this is our cart link over here. So I'm going to simply add the carts over here. The cart links are going to be URL. So where's mommy? Okay, gonna be URL. Okay, you after URL now, you're gonna see me say cat. Come down here again, refresh the page. So click on this. Okay, you can see now we are on the cart page, but you can see this data you see here, they are simply dummy data. Okay, now come down to the cart page now. Let's go down to the cart page and let's populate the cart page. So right now, so you can see we have 3 item class. We have this item class. We also have this guy over here, and we also have this guy over here. Okay, so I only need one. The for loop is not undo the rest. The for loop will simply undo the rest. So okay, so right now I'll simply say the for loop. I'll simply say for item in items, for item in items. Okay, so just I'll simply copy this, cut this now, Ctrl X, and paste in here. So I need to make this look good a bit. Okay, so I need to make, let me just indent this properly. I think it's Alt Shift and then F. Oh, where is it? Okay, perfect. You can see it's looking quite good now. Like I said, for item in item, so I'm going to put in the image. So right now we're going to see about, okay, we have 2 of it now. So I'm going to put in the actual data into those fields. So I'll simply say what's it called? Okay, I'll simply say item.products.picture. It's going to be simply item.products.picture.url. So we already have item.product.title. I think that's already working. Okay, it's not even there. Item.product.title. So I'm not making any mistakes. So yeah, I'm gonna have the quantity. Gonna be item.product.quantity. We check closely. We are able to access the products from. We check. Right now we are simply listing out the cart items, but right now we're able to access the image from these products because we already have the products linked here. Understand? That's why. So we already have the image. So let's see if the changes are going to apply. Refresh the page. Perfect. We already have the pictures now. Well, I'm not seeing the title. Okay, it's called item.product.name. not title, it's called name. So we have the quantity. Let's add the price. Okay, that's the price. Add the price. Item dot product dot price. So now let's see. Refresh the page. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, the quantity is not displaying. What's wrong? Item dot product. Okay, it's item dot quantity. We check closely. The quantity is already a field of cat item. If we check, you can see we have the quantity over here. So let's just come over here. Let me say quantity. So to the browser, refresh. Perfect, perfect. Okay, now so we have those stuff there. So what next? You can see we want to make sure that the quantity and the unit price will give us the price over here. But you can see right now we have these two dummy text. We have $100 and we also have $100 over here. I want to make sure it is like this. Whereby I say 2 times 30, we have 60, we have 3 times 100, we have 300. So how do you go about that? It's simple. So go down to the models.py file. So your models. So we are going to set a new attribute. Models.py file. So okay, just over here, I'm going to create a new attribute, but it's going to be a function. I'm going to say def. I'm going to say def price. Let's say price. I'm going to have the self. I'm going to have the self parameter, and then right now I'm going to say new price, new underscore price should be equal to self dot product dot price. Self dot product dot price times self dot quantity. Understand? So that's it now. So I'll simply put. So I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna make this a what is it? I'm gonna make this an attribute by putting the at property. At property. So right now, this function now is now a field of this cart item. So I'm going to go down to my cart page right now and I'll simply say item.price. Item.price. No, solve the real problem. Item.price. Just come over here. Item.price. Oh, it says none. What's the problem? Item.price. What's the issue? Okay, I need to return new price. I forgot to be return new underscore price. So return new price. So we need to return this value. So to the browser now, refresh the page. Perfect. You can see we have the actual values. So what next? I also want to get the. I want to also get the total. I want to get the total price, like 60 plus 300. How do I go about that? So go down to your models.py file. So if you've not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Your boy is gonna help me grow. Subscribe to COVID Cleansing. So currently I'm on the models.py file. So I'm gonna go down to the cart. I'm going to go down to the cart model. So how do we go about that? So I'm going to create a new function. I'm going to say as property. I'll simply say the total price. Total price. Then I'm going to simply set self, and then what next? So what do? We need to think now. Okay. So right now I need to loop through all the cart items in this cart. So how do I go out? I need to get all the cart items in the cart. So I'll simply say cart items. I'm going to call this cart items. Should be equal to self.cart items.all. So right now I just got all the cart items in this cart. So right now I'm going to loop through the cart items and get. I'm going to loop through the cart items and get their individual prices. I'm going to get these prices over here. This one on the last column. So what I want to do right now, so let's go straight. So how do you go about that? It's simple. So let's continue now. So as me come over here and me say total, that is total price. I'm gonna say total should be equal to, I'll simply say sum. So I want to sum up all those prices, the one I showed you. I want to sum them up. I want to get the sum of all of them. So let's proceed. So as me say sum, and then put in the for loop, the list something there, and I'm going to say for item in cart items. For item in cart items, we are not done. So I need to also say item dot price. So right now the price is this item dot price you see is coming from this function I created from the cart item. This function, so I'm getting the individual price of the cart item. You understand, the individual price of the cart item. Understand? So let me explain what this does now. Right now I got all the cart items in this cart. So then I had to look to the cart item, and then I got the price of each cart item. So after getting the price of each cart item, I had to then sum up everything, add them together. So I'm going to return total. I'll simply return total. So right now I'll start price. I'm going to simply say cart.total. So if you check closely, we already passed I'm going to go down to the cart page. So just at the bottom where we have the carts. So over here, I'll simply come down here, move this on click for now. We don't need that yet. So right now we already have cart.total here. Cart.total. Am I sure of that? I call it total price, not total. Cart.total price. So let's do that right now. Cart.total price. Total underscore price. So save. So the browser, let's see. Refresh. Right now you can see we have 360. That's the total price of the carts. So after we've done that, now I also want to get the total items in the carts. Right now we have 5 items in this cart. I want to have this 5 placed inside of this circle you see up here. So how do we go about that also? So I'm going to do the same thing we've been doing. So go down to the model.py. Oh, my battery is almost gone. Okay, so go down to the model.py. So I'm going to go down to the cart item. So right now I'm going to simply get the quantity of each cart item. So I'm going to simply say property, and then def. I'm going to call this number of item, number of underscore items, and they're going to have requests, and okay, so sorry, not request, I'm going to have self rather. I'm going to say self. So what do I want to do now? I want to simply get out. Sorry, I want to simply get the quantity of each cart item. So how do we go about that? Sorry, this function should not be here. It should be up. It should be under the carts model. So over here now. So I'll simply do I'll do the same thing here. I'll simply get all the items in the carts. I'll paste that over here. So after I've pasted that, I want to get the quantity. I'll simply come down here and say quantity. I'll simply say it should be equal to. I'll simply say sum. So then what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply loop through the items. I'm going to say for item in cart items. For item in cart items, so just here I'll simply say item.quantity. So what am I doing? It's simple, very simple. So this is what I just did here. So right now I got all the items in this cart. So after I did that, I have to loop through all the cart items in this particular cart now. So after looping through them, I have to get the quantity of each of the cart items. So after I got the quantity, I have to now sum them up, add them up in instance. So I'll simply return quantity, return quantity. So return quantity. So to the browser now, I'll simply say cat.num of item is going to give us the total items in the cart. So we're going to find out in the base of we're going to find out in the base template. So in the base template right now, where do we have, okay, right, this is where we have it. I'll simply come over here and say cat.num underscore of underscore items. So how do we go about that? So refresh the page. Oh, it says re is not defined. I don't know where I declared re now. Name error, line 35, no.55. Line 35. Return, there is no error like that. So run server. I'm gonna run server again. I just pray I'm able to finish this before my battery goes off. So run server. Perfect. So refresh the page. Well, you can see we have 5 items in the cart. Perfect. If I go down to the home page, you're going to see 0. You can see we see nothing there. That's because in the index page, in the index view, we don't. Oh. In the index view, we don't have the carts and cart items declared in the index view. We only have it in the cart page and in the other pages, in instance. So right now I'll simply get this now, simply copy, Ctrl C, and I'll simply paste it just underneath the, just under here. So enter. Right now I'm going to simply pass in carts into the context. I'm going to say carts and then carts. Okay, refresh the page. Perfect. So now you can see we have 5 over here. Click over here, we have 5. So what next now? So whenever we add to carts, we don't see this stuff update. So go down to the home page now. I'm going to add more items to carts. Add. It is not updating real time. It's not updating. But if I go down to the index page, you can see now we have 7 items. We have 3. We have 4. You can see now. But if I add to cart, it does not update real time. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So go down to your Ajax view. Where's our Ajax? So to the Ajax view right here. So you can see here, just over here. So what do I want to do? I want to simply get the total number of items in the cart. So this is how we go about it now. Total number of items in the cart. I'll simply say, just under here, I'll simply come over here and say num of items. Num of item should be equal to cat dot, what was it called again? Let's check our model. Let's check the model. Should be equal to cat dot num of items. So copy this property, Ctrl C, view.py. So it's going to be equal to cat. Oh, it's going to be equal to cat dot num of items. So this num of items you see is coming from the model.py file. Is the property of this cat. So I'm trying to get the total number of items in the cart instance. So if we check closely, whenever we add to cart, the page does not automatically update. It's until I refresh the page. That's when it's going to update. But I don't want that. So I'm going to use JavaScript to update this page whenever we are trying to add to cart. So right now, how do we go about it? So I'm going to simply pass this num of item as a data we are expecting on the front end, as something we want on the front end. So that's what I want to pass. I'm going to simply say num of underscore item. Num of item. Num of underscore item. So that's it over there. Okay, after we've gotten this now, I want to simply update this with the num of items. So let's do that right away. So I'm going to go down to the, what was it called again? To the script.js file. Script.js. So before I get there, I need to get this field. that holds the number of item. You can see this is the element that holds the number of items in the cart, this p tag, you understand? So it has an ID of number of items. So I'm going to get this element by its ID. So I'm going to go down to this script tag now. Just in the second dot, then I'll simply say document dot get elements by ID. It's called num of items. If you check, I showed you that num of underscore items. So document dot get element by ID num of items dot inner HTML. So I want to change the contents of that p tag to the data I'm expecting from the back end. So in the back end, let me show you. So in the back end, from the back end, I'm expecting this num of item. I'm expecting this data. So, and this num of item I'm expecting is this data you see here. You understand? So I'm going to simply say that p tag. Right now, I'm simply saying right now I just called the p tag right there by its ID, and I'm simply updating the contents of the p tag to the data I am expecting from the back end. It's as simple as that. So right now, to the browser, refresh the page. To the home page, go down to the home page. Okay, now so click on add to cart. You see this is going to update to 8 by itself now without reloading the page. Click. Right, you can see we have 8 over there. Click again. You can see we have 9. Click again. You can see we have 10. Perfect. So if I come over here, you can see now we have 5 orange t-shirts. We have 5 Gucci sneakers. So let's add more different products. So now I'm going to add this gray t-shirt, add about 3 of it, add this brown t-shirts, 2 of it. So go down to the cart page. You can see we have 15 right now. Go down to the cart page. You can see now we have everything is bubbling. So what is left now is payment. So how do we pay? So we are going to make payments via Flutterwave. That's going to be in the next video. So right now we have come to the end of this video. You understand? So you find the source code linked in the video description. You find a source code in the video description. So if you come to the end of this video, so do well to subscribe to my channel, like and share this video. I'll see you in the next video where we are going to implement where we are going to integrate Flutterwave to make our payments. So see you in the next video.